good afternoon, good morning, good evening, or whatever time zone it is, whether you're in the world. It is your Lore and Saviour, and I've been doing YouTube for quite a bit now. 5 years. That's quite an impressive feat. Well, it'll be 5 years in November, actually, if we'd be pedantic about it, but I've done quite a lot in that time, both in and out of my usual lore shenanigans. And I feel they've also developed a lot as a person. But we're not getting sentimental here, we're coming here to moan and nag, which is my right as a cis white male. Now what exactly am I talking about here? Well, as I was saying, I get quite a lot of requests for like stuff to cover on the channel, and a lot of the time I put it in an ever-expanding bucket list. But sometimes an idea pops along and it's just so damn good that I try and slot it in however I can. An example of that being was a idea for like kindred romance and intimate relationships. But I then spun this round and made it really fucking filthy and made a joke out of it, because at the time I was approaching 6,969 subscribers at 6969, which is double the niceness. And if you haven't checked out the Delectable Diva's Guide to Vampiric Dating, both parts, you can check those out in the cards that are going to appear in the top right hand corner, or left top, I can't remember. Anyway, cards, watch them. Anyway, sometimes, however, I get, well, quite a lot actually, I get ideas of things that I've already done, or they are so niche that I don't see any merit actually covering them. But referring to the former for just a second, last night I had a request, or rather a question: am I going to do any more stuff on Wraith? Now, this admittedly annoyed me a little bit, and this is no beef with whoever asked this question. I don't want to like call you out and name you or anything, because I had spent the last 2 years, well, not last, but I spent 2 years of my life researching, reading, buying a lot of Wraith the Oblivion books. And when I was said to that, oh, I've done them already, the response was, well, the initial response was, have you? It's like, yeah, I'm pretty sure that I've covered pretty much every aspect of Wraith the Oblivion on the Lore by Night channel. Like, I don't think I imagined that. I don't think I imagined the brilliant exuberance that is their Dr. Frederick Phoenix. Of course, there was more to that statement from this person, of course, and I don't want to take that away from it, but it's just that initial have you that really ground my gears. And again, I'm not calling this person out, because I could have used any example for this. And it really just highlights a main issue with YouTube as a platform already. It doesn't promote my stuff. And I find that really upsetting, because I'm a smaller YouTube profile. I know that I may seem like one of the larger ones in the World of Darkness community, but overall, I'm fucking tiny. And the stuff that I do doesn't get the viewership and the recognition I feel it sometimes deserves. Especially with somebody like myself who, as I said a moment ago, covered all Wraith the Oblivion stuff and covered a large portion of Vampire. But of course, as I start with Vampire, that's all that YouTube is going to be focusing on promoting. It's like I've done a few videos on Bloodlines recently, and God, did it do a good job promoting those and getting thousands of views. It reminded me of the old days when I did those clan lore dives, and I would get well over 1,000 views in a single sitting, like within like 24 hours sort of thing. Now, I don't get anywhere near that much, and I get that all channels like sort of tail off at a certain point, but God almighty, I feel I've done so much better since then. And it's just super frustrating, because part of this could be solved with the user who's looking for Wraith. If they search up Wraith lore onto YouTube and a lot of my videos pop up, or they can use the search bar within the actual channel itself. But if you're looking on mobile, there is no search bar. So what you then do is click on the playlists or podcasts thing, because for some reason YouTube turns some of my playlists into podcast folders. It doesn't do anything special, but it is what it is, I guess. And you can find a whole thing that says Wraith lore, and I do this quite a lot actually with my stuff. Because I have a lot of Dr. North specs, I had the foresight to know that I was going to be covering quite a lot of things. And because I'm one of those freaks who likes to make folders within folders within folders on my computers, I knew I was going to divvy things up in a very particular way. So if we're going to use vampires as an example, we have like clan lore, we have World of Darkness basics, we have sect lore. Using Wraith, we have guild lore, we have legion lore. Like, I break things up because I know that people aren't going to be interested in every single thing that I do. But all that stuff is there available, easy to access. I might do a bit too much with some things, like I think I still have that folder where I was originally going to review New York by Night, but I got fucking bored of it. New York by Night alongside LA by Night, like I was going to review the official actual plays, but for reasons I'm not going to go into, that's kind of been dead in the water. But, you know, I just prepare for these things and like organise things in such a way so I can point people and say, hey, go that way. But clearly people aren't prepared to do that, and clearly YouTube isn't going to push that for people. Playlists, yeah, I can understand, but it's still pretty annoying all the same. Like, you put a lot of hard work into all this effort and stuff, and people just aren't aware. And people, when they're made aware, they've done it because I told them rather than them going to look on the channel themselves, which is annoying. Like, these features are there, but people aren't using them. But at the same time, YouTube is not plugging my stuff, which is super fucking annoying. And then again, I'm just going to use that cyberpunk example I used recently. I spent months working on like how to run a cyberpunk thing, and it was like the most fun I've had with a video for ages, and I did some really cool new things with that. Sod all views because reasons. YouTube reasons, and of course some of it's down to the people who subscribe to me. They're not into cyberpunk, they're into World of Darkness, and yet one of the biggest requests I have is doing cyberpunk. So yeah, that's odd. And it's frustrating, and at times it can be fucking soul crushing, like the Wraith example from yesterday. Like, as I said, I spent 2 years of my life working on that, and people just don't know about it. It's not like I'm quiet about it either, like, but you know, it's a part user problem, part YouTube problem, and I'm going to put most of the problems on YouTube there because obviously, well, I'm going to assume that the person I'm referring to, that maybe they looked online for YouTube or thought whatnot, or they knew that I started to do Wraith and then, I don't know, things didn't get pushed to them. I don't know exactly how badly all this is, but I number the main episode, so at some point there's a sudden spike, as it were, and there's a cry, well, how come all these numbers increase? Where's all these other videos? Like, I still get people actually who don't know that I carried on podcasting, because I did a whole thing saying that why I couldn't put it on podcasting places anymore, and I still get people who just rediscover me on YouTube like fairly recently. It's like, why don't people check? Why people didn't listen to the thing that I put out, right, when I said that I was going to? You know, it's just algorithms and shit don't fucking push that stuff properly, and as I said, part of it's a user thing as well. It's just super frustrating, but at the very least, I've now given you the tools to go and sort those problems out, as YouTube is not promoting my stuff, and I'm not prepared to fucking promote all that stuff myself again, or like re-upload it. All I can do is like share things and point people in the right direction, but also just make people aware that, hey, there are many different ways to find my stuff. You just need to go out and look for it. So apologies for this little nag, and I'm sorry for anybody that I've upset, wound up, offended or whatever with this little tirade, because I know I'm going to be speaking directly to a handful of you. But it's just super upsetting that I put all this effort in, and for whatever reason people are just not aware of what I do. And I think a lot of that is to do with YouTube just not promoting and sharing my stuff properly, which is very disheartening. And when that fails, people just don't use the features that YouTube implements, and perhaps they do, and it just shoots them in the fucking dick, I don't know, or whatever sensitive area, you know, for those who are dickless who are watching this, you know, don't want to discriminate people too much. Yeah, I don't really know how to wrap this up actually, so yeah, I mean, I guess if you've got some wisdom to part, I guess, leave it in the comments below. Again, apologies to anybody who I've offended directly with this. Please like and please share and subscribe to stuff what I do so people are aware what I'm doing, because clearly doing those things is engagement, and you'll let YouTube bots or whatever know that, oh, people like Lore by Night and all the stuff that they do. We'll keep promoting it to people. Don't write comments saying that, oh, I love everything that Lore by Night does, or love everything that you do, because YouTube has now learned that that's bot behaviour. So it'll actually do the inverse. Yeah, and I guess if you want to support the channel financially, and so I can actually provide these more eclectic lore dives and expand into the other realms of the world of darkness, check out the various books in the description below. If you purchase them with those links, I get some of the money back because I'm an affiliate on Drive4RPG, so I'm kind of partnered up with them in some small sense of the phrase, and I'm able to get a little slice of the pie when you buy those books. So, as I said, can do more of these cool lore dives for you. That should hopefully get a bit more recognition, because I could do with the reach, you know. I know I've got a lot of subscribers, and I'm very grateful, by the way, for everything that you do and all the love and attention you do give it. That's not something I want to make people feel that I'm ungrateful. I just wish that everything surrounding that would reflect that, you know, that I would, you know, YouTube would work as it's supposed to do, and etc. and so forth. So, like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you hopefully on the next upload, whatever that may well be for you, providing that YouTube fucking pumps it out to you. So, click on that bell and make sure all notifications are turned on, so you get every single thing that I do sent to your device. That is, of course, if YouTube fucking works properly. Anyway, on that delightful note, until next time, farewell.